Hello, hockey fans. Hey, howdy, how you doing? Drop the Gloves, episode 8, live from my camper. More about that here shortly. Drop the Gloves, brought to you by the good folks at Underdog Nutrition. Here's what you need to do. On your mobile devices, on your laptop, you need to open up the Facebook and you need to search out Underdog Nutrition. What you're going to do is you're going to like your page. You're going to like their page. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get the updates from them, their posts, like the one they made here last week. A post letting you know that if you are running short on time for meal prep this weekend, which pretty much every weekend now, especially in the amongst the hockey folks, the youth association here in Gillette, in Campbell County, the game started last weekend. They're going this weekend. Your weekends are just going to get more and more busy. So as we transition from summer to winter, you're going to have a tendency to want to go back to your winter body. I have a winter body year round, but some of you put a lot of work in this summer to look good in your swim trunks, to look good in your swimming suit. And I applaud you for that. That's good work. What you don't want to do over the next 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, we don't know how long winter's going to be. But what you don't want to let happen over the next, we'll call them several months, you don't want to go back to, we'll say this. You don't want to go back to this, okay? Underdog Nutrition, they can help you avoid this right here. Stop in and you can buy 8 MegaFit meals or more and get 10% off. Stock up so you're prepared, or keep some in your freezer so you can mix things up this week from your normal go-to meals. Check their story for an update on what meals are currently available. If you can't do that, you just need to head down to 500 OR Drive, Suite 3 here in Gillette. Reach out to them on Facebook. They can get you set up with everything you need to help those gains that you made over this summer not become losses over this winter. And I know what some of you are thinking is, what's a loss? If you're a Gillette Wild hockey fan in 2021, you have no idea what in the hell a loss is. The boys took care of business this weekend. It was a very anticipated game. The NA3HL Vinny and the boys at NA3HL TV, I don't know what they're officially called, but NA3HL TV, this was one of the games to watch. You had a pair of teams in the top half of a division going at each other, and I mean, it was you're going to see here in a little bit. Kevin Geis will take you through everything that happened. It was kind of anticlimactic. And this is the feedback I got. Several of the folks that I work with have talked this week. We have a really good hockey team here in Gillette, and as people and the crowds are starting to come out, 1,150 maybe through the weekend, almost 500 and something, or right at 500 Friday, 650 Saturday night, 1,100 and some for the weekend, 1,134, 1,132 maybe. Most we've had out for a weekend in 2 years, 2.5 years. If you want to go back to when we were really smashing that attendance, you got to go back to like 2017 when we were drawing 1,300 or 1,400 for the weekend, and I think we're moving back towards that. These young men are proving that they deserve that attention. It is worth your time and money to come out. We had Oktoberfest Saturday. One of the things I was complained about at work, and we hear you, and there will be discussions. I can assure you we will do a better job when you have a Oktoberfest promotion like that. You can't run out of beer at the end of the first period. I'm not sure if that says more about maybe us as consumers of the beverage, or maybe on the other side, us not being prepared to have enough said beer there that everybody was going to consume. But I heard you laugh. That two things I heard a lot of, and I had a dozen talkings too here in the last couple days. We have a damn good hockey team. Can't run out of beer. We'll be better about that. Now, at the very beginning, we talked about why in the Sam hell am my camper? I basically have two seasons, okay? I have the hockey season where I spend all winter. Got a pair of daughters, the younger two, still on the high school girls hockey team here. And this is the last weekend before we head on the road, the first weekend in November. So I got to get all my summer stuff put away. We hauled the boat over, got it winterized last weekend. The camper will be this weekend. I wanted to spend just the last few minutes I could in the summer. This is my happy place. This is I spend my winter or my summers gym and Coke. That's what I do. This is where I like to be. Those days are running short. Here in the next couple of weeks, I will show you kind of my winter home a bit more. We'll do an open and a close from there, so you can get a little better idea of. I basically have two seasons. One involves water being frozen, and one involves water not frozen. That's pretty much a lifestyle that I live. So bear with me. We're gonna spend just a few more minutes here in the camper, clutching on to the last few moments of summer that I can. It was again cool. A lot of folks made the trip. You guys have caught some really good weather here to start the season to come down here and enjoy the boys being at home. But now there's some road games that are going to start happening. So we have an off weekend coming up. Tonight's guests that we talked to, Will Blake, Tyler Lasiter, they both give their plans for what they're doing. They're going to have two completely separate weekends, and I'm willing to bet that they are more fun, both of them. Although completely different paths they're taking this weekend, they're going to have substantially more fun than any of us are going to have. And I'm going to be at Spirit Hall for club hockey. The University of Wyoming and the Montana State Bobcats will be playing at Spirit Hall Friday and Saturday night. More about that later. And before we get out of here, we are going to renew a segment that we did last month. Got a lot of good feedback on that. But Catalina Bear, she had another question for the boys. And with Halloween coming up this weekend, we thought we might as well get her questions answered. So before we get out of here tonight, we will answer another one of Catalina's questions. But before I digress, we have a really good hockey team. I can't stress that enough. Friday and Saturday night, they pumped Bozeman. So when you look at the standings, kind of the records coming in, when you watch Bozeman warm up, they're one of the teams. They're pretty getting off the bus. And there's teams you'll see them like they're pretty getting off the bus. They're big. They have the size. Their warm ups beforehand, and what kind of helps them look so good. I will say, full disclosure, I think Bozeman has one of the prettiest kits in both the NA3HL and the Wyoming hockey or Wyoming Amateur Hockey League that the girls play and everything. That maroon black, the way Bozeman's jerseys and sweaters and whatnot are legit. And like I said, they big kids watching them warm up, watching the warm ups. They look good. They have cool little handshakes they were doing. There's a lot of hooping and hollering, tapping each other in the nuts with their sticks and whatnot. And then the puck dropped, and then it was just, like I said, Gillette pumped them. So you're going to see that and more. We really get down to the Drop the Gloves pod. That first weekend, we had a good fight with Mr. Rodriguez. This weekend was it was a little more dirty than a square up. We talked about it on the previous episode. I liked how Dale they squared up and they fought. And then this stuff this weekend, there was some dirty. And I might be biased. I felt we received a little bit more of the dirty side of the hockey there. We did give out a couple, especially there was one hit Saturday night that the Gillette had that I did not necessarily enjoy. I mean, nobody got hurt, but I know there was one hit there Friday night on Ian Richards that you can't stand for that, and that's Tyler Lasiter. We'll get in that here in a little bit on when you see one of your teammates hit like that. And Lassiter's he's 6'3", he got fire red hair. He's like 7'2" when he's on his skates. And he talks about how there's a code in hockey that when you see somebody do one of your teammates dirty, you can't stand for that. And these guys know that, and they know. I would assume as the year goes on, if the record continues to be where it is, and they stay undefeated, maybe drop a game here or there, but as they continue to be in the top one or two teams in the frontier, there's going to be some teams take shots at them and do some dirty stuff, but you have to know that if you're going to do something and make a run at one of our guys, you're probably going to get punched right in the mouth. So that was good to see. So you guys, you're going to take a look at that right now. I'll stop rambling. You guys are going to take a look at that right now and a little piece we like to call the Wild's Weekend That Was.
We're about ready to get things underway as everybody gets their brain bucket strapped back on. Bozeman in their road blacks with white numerals with trimmed in white. Got their crimson maroon hockey pants and their black socks with maroon and white stripes. Wild in their home whites with orange numerals with yellow accents, and white socks with gold and or yellow and orange stripes. And about ready to get things going here as the Wild will skate left to right, south to north here in this first period. It's going to be one of the better tests here for probably both of these teams. Wild haven't, I don't know if they've played anybody with a winning record yet, so should be good action here as it got it intercepted right there, so Wild have to clean that up. Now Sanborn, he's battling there against Cole Busher. Coming in, Fanning with a shot, goes off the goaltender and bounces off the back wall. Good job by Sanborn to knock his man down to try to control the puck. Excuse me, that's Isaac Young down there. Declan fires it over the far side, and then jumping up into the play there was Wiesler to keep that one in. Sanborn trying to get it right near side to Declan. Declan comes walking around right in the slot, sends a shot, goal! I think that one went right in 5-hole right there. 1 minute exactly gone in the game here, and the Wild get one. That was a good hustle by the Wild just to keep that one in, and Declan doing what Declan does, scoring points. So Ice Dogs bringing it down. Good job, Wild. Richards poked it back to center ice, and racing for it's Baker. Baker looking. Gonna go towards the net. Nope. Trying to find somebody to feed. Sends it up the wall to Richards. Richards dumps it in. Oh, it comes right around. Cooch off the rebound and popped that one home. Shot in from up high by Richards. Bounced off the goaltender. Cooch on the near side here is able to pop one in. So minute and 18 after their last goal. Wild take a 2-0 lead here in this first period. Inching down low is Norwegian. Lean sends it right in front. Oh, Solid was there trying to get a redirect, but now it's on front. Oh, somebody got dinged, and gonna have a little bit of scrumming going on here as one of the Wild players is on the ice over there. That's Richards got some head contact. People are in the middle of things, ripping people's helmets off. Solid got his helmet removed, and it looks like Lean and somebody are tied up going to the ground. Norwegians getting drug around. That's that's Michael Schwartz that was ripping his helmet off, and all this happening. Richards finally coming to his knees right here. Coach Burton expressing some displeasure out here. So multiple people with their helmets off. Trebojevic, Norwegian, shoots it in, goes off a stick. Solig battling for it. Solig and Stevens get tied up. And looks like we're going to get a penalty on them. Shot by Blake. Right in front. Norwegian just tried to backhand one, and not sure who was that. Is that Tucker Lean on the backside? The Wild got a delayed penalty. They were going to draw another one, but they get a power play goal here with 23 seconds to go. Looks like that's probably Tucker Lean's goal. There were guys working at it. I don't know why nobody tried to get to it. It barely crept across on the ice. They should have been going after it a little better than that. But off angle goes off the glass and back down to the far end. Pass up ahead to Tristan Baker. Lean racing for it. Lean sends it across, comes right there. Solig trying to get to it. Solig fakes, and then he does end up with it. Sky Solig couldn't pull the trigger on the pass initially, but able to go ahead and get one. And with minute and 5 seconds gone here in this second period, the Wild get on the board for the fourth time. They scored a minute into the first period, a minute and 5 into this one, but that was just good work down there. Blake was right in front as well, but Young's pass trying to come across, and then that's going to be kicked up now the zone. Wild got about one more chance for a rush here. Sanborn weaves right to the slot, fires one, goal. Nice shot, Caleb Sanborn. Or was that Isaac Young? This two, no, that was Isaac Young, I believe. Those two are pretty close out there. Wild get a power play goal. Just come skating across the slot, fired that one in, and Wild extend their lead to 5-0 right now. End up with this one. The Norwegian gets tied up. Then we got a little bit of face washing and nice stuff going on. Now we're getting a little more of a scrumming. But now it's going to be slid down the ice, and Turek was thinking there was a icing call, but we're on the power play, so no icing. Sanborn gets around his man, got Delabovi right in front. Comes up high to Cooch. Cooch goes around his man, sends it right in front, trying to backhand it with Delabovi. Right there, backdoor, Tristan Baker. Nice job on the doorstep and did not miss that one. Tristan Baker from, that'd be Cooch and Delabovi, I believe. Makes it 6-2. 50 seconds left on the major penalty to Cole Busher. 2:40 left in the third period here. Walking in with a shot. Goal. Carson Cooch, I believe. Yep, Carson Cooch gets another one. Power play. 7-2 here. The Wild regain their composure a little bit here and finding the back of the net. So Cooch with it, and he's just going to run this one out, and that's the way we'll end it. But Wild lead from start to finish. Get a 7-2 victory as team comes out to congratulate Turek, but we'll see who the 3 stars of the game are here tonight. Ian Richards, 3rd star, defenseman, had an assist in the game tonight. Tucker Lean, assist in the game-winning goal. Mixing it up a lot tonight. Carson Cooch, 2 goals and 2 assists, your first star of the game. And Wild with a 7-2 victory. They end up out shooting the Ice Dogs 60-31 for the game. So Wild with the victory. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for tuning in. Had some spirited action last night, so we'll see how things get going. The Wild were able to get a goal in the first minute last night, scored a couple goals there in that first 2.5 minutes. So good job by Trebojevic to come back and retrieve and send it length of the ice. Oh, right in front, Blake gets it to Cooch and scores shorthanded right there. Way good hustle play by Will Blake to take that puck away. I'm not sure whether that was Luke Busher that was having trouble with it down there, but he kind of lost it. Blake took it away. Cooch comes skating right down the slot. Blake fed him and put that one home. The Wild take a 1-0 lead here. Getting on the board shorthanded. Goes off a pad and then rolls and is covered up by Soderholm. So a 5:58 to go here in the first period. The Wild clinging to a 1-0 lead. Wild definitely having pretty good puck possession though and controlling it. It is staying in the Bozeman end more. They just haven't been fortunate enough to find the back of the net much yet. But Solig falling down, gets it. Norwegian sends it right in front to Lean. Back to Solig. Goal. Tic-tac-toe right there. Sky Solig from Lean. That was just a nice pass, and that was a good effort. Norwegian sent it right in front to Lean, and then Lean sent it right back across on the backside. So just like that, the Wild extend their lead to 2-0 here with 5:51 to go in the first. Busher must be, he got kicked out of last night's game, so must not be in the lineup here tonight. Must be serving penalty. And then Sanborn gets it in the slot to Fanning. Fanning, goal. Nice shot. Went post and in from the high slot. Just a rocket right there. So nice shot, Nathan Fanning, and Wild have extended this lead to 3-0 now. Blake to take the draw. Wins it to Cooch. Cooch tries to fire one that went off a body right there. Cooch with it again. Has people going down. Fires over the right shoulder. Carson Cooch with another one. That was just a good effort. His shot didn't make it through the first time, but he was able to regain it, and there was a Ice Dog laying in the ice, and he put it up over him and over the right side of the goaltender right there. So Cooch with 2 goals so far. He had a couple of goals last night, a couple of assists. Declan too, but Richards with it, bounces it near side, gets it to Isaac Young. Isaac Young and Nick Smith meet, but Declan's going to bring it in. Declan comes in. Oh, fanned on it. Goal! Isaac Young got the rebound and popped that one in. Nice goal, Isaac. That was good work by the Youngs and Sanborn, and able to extend the lead to 5-1 here with 9:42 to go in the second. It's Trebojevic. Trebojevic brings it up, avoids some pressure from Smith, and then gets run over by Smith on that one. But right there, Solig fires that one in and pops the water bottle up. Wild do get a power play goal here. Large crowd tonight, appreciative of that action. Sky Solig with his second goal of the night. Carson Cooch with a couple of goals tonight. Killed off by the Ice Dog, so Wild battling forward on the far side. Delabobe's getting into it now. We might have a bit of a scrum. There's people dropping to the ice, and there's fists are flying. Cooch is going to rough somebody up here. I think Cooch will rough anybody up that's out there right now. Well, Nick Smith's wanting to go, but he's not too tough a dude with it. So Musselman's over in the far corner. He was giving some blows while he was on top, but that didn't last long. So Wild battling for it as Sanborn has got his man tied up, trying not to get a penalty called as things are happening down low. But Tucker lean after it. Tucker going to get to it, looking, gets it to Sanborn. Sanborn shoots, goal. Nice play, good work, good hustle. Another short-handed goal for the Wild. Nice pass, Tucker lean, good finish. Caleb Sanborn, good work down there, fellas. They just kept working at it. Tucker was the first one to get to the puck, and then he saw Sanborn cutting down the slot. Gave him a nice little feed. Sanborn found the back of the net, so second short-handed goal of the night. Gets it to Solig. Solig back across to Lean. Lean was there, but chipped it, but couldn't get it. And then we're going to have a bit of a scrum going in. Everybody's gathering in, and we wondered if something like this was going to happen. So we got some fists flying a little bit. Number 22, Nick Stevens, lost his helmet, and he's headed to the far bench, but beat by Lau. Looks like Dukes is out there getting a little time. Jackson Dukes, number 19, and that's the way this one will end. And then we're going to have a little scrum here at the end, and this is a little more serious. Duchemin's getting into it in the corner. Delabove, your cannon's got his helmet off, but Richards got dumped down. Yeah, we got a bit of a scrum to go, and these boys standing up for their teammates here. Looks like number 12, Colton Boyd's out there as well. Wild getting ready to come out and do their ceremonial stick tap to the crowd, showing their appreciation. So crowd's going to give it up. Another couple of good victories. Wild going 14-0 to start the season here. So see if they can keep it rolling. They'll get a welcome break here. Halloween, do a little trick-or-treating. I think they're going to catch an Avs game, and then they'll travel to Haynes Pavilion in Bozeman for a couple of games. After that, looks like they'll be They'll be have a week off, and they'll be home against Great Falls. So get the Nathan Fanning, the third star with a goal. Played a good game defensively, and he's just been rock solid for the Wild this year on D. 29 of 30 saves. Jack Orchard, number 34. And we'll see if they're going to get Cooch or Solig here. Sky Solig, 2 goals, the game-winning goal. So good job from him. The Wild had lots of contributions tonight. Played a pretty solid game. So Wild finished this one up with a 7-1 victory. We'll see. Looks like it'll be about a month before we'll be back on the air, but the Wild will be in Bozeman on November 5th and 6th, back home here the 19th and 20th. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and thanks all you parents who have traveled. Have safe travels getting back. We'll see you next time.
Okay, we now welcome on very special guest, Will Blake. Taking the time, they just got out of practice. He came down. Thanks for joining us.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Back to this weekend before we get to kind of how you ended up here and stuff. Was the atmosphere as fun for you guys this weekend as it looked off the ice?
Definitely, especially with all the scrums and everything going on and the crowd getting into that. That was fun.
Now that was one of the things I wanted to talk about was the game. It looked rougher just from being off the ice. Did it feel that way during the game?
Definitely. It was you kind of had to watch out and stick up for your teammates when they were getting hit and stuff. So
how fast into the game, or how quick can you sense that? I assume you've played in rough hockey games before. So how quick into the evening, like Friday night? How quick did you know, like, okay, here we're going to have 2 games where it's going to be a little rowdy? And kind of what sets that off?
I think us definitely going up early sets that off, as in, like, we're winning and then they get frustrated and have to play from behind the whole time. It wasn't until like the end of the first period, I guess, on Friday night that I realized it wasn't going to be too.
What are kind of the rules, the rules of engagement in hockey on, like you said, you're wanting to look out for each other, and I mean, in full disclosure, I think maybe there was one hit in the game Saturday night that I think maybe that we could have not done, but other than that, it seemed like they instigated most of it. Mm-hmm. So how do you tell when it's just kind of something after the whistle that's okay, and then it's like, okay, now we need to go, everyone needs to go talk to this guy about it? Like, how do you make that decision? If
it puts one of our guys in danger of like getting hurt or something, like there was a couple of guys like from behind, stuff like that, you kind of jump in there.
And is it weird?
Haze.
Like, the one thing I noticed, and maybe I haven't paid enough attention in the past, it seemed like when you guys locked up in the scrums, guys seemed to hold on to their sticks more. And then when bodies were getting tossed, like, I think it was one of the Friday night ones, the 2 guys have locked up, and the kid from Bozeman gets swung around, and his stick hits one of his other guys. So is there, like, when you lock up and engage someone like that, is there, like, do you normally want to drop your stick, or is there a protocol to that, or is it just what happens naturally?
Yeah, you just kind of get them off any way you can.
So it's just happening quick. Yeah. So you're just reacting. So you're not. There's no rhyme or reason to keeping that thing in your hand and doing anything like that.
Yep.
Okay. Who on Gillette? Who would be the last guy you would want to fight?
The last guy?
The last guy you would want to fight.
Probably Lasiter.
Okay.
Just because he's big.
That's not bad. That's not a bad one. And that's what I.
And he gets mad.
Yeah, and then you have your big guys, and kind of that's what they do is they're there to protect. But I don't think there was anything like that. Our big guys did it was egregious this weekend. Like, it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had high hopes going into Friday. Just I thought it'd be a real good hockey game. And then we've talked to some of the guys before. I think that the fact that the intensity with the fighting and stuff helped it, even though it was 7-1, 7-2, it kind of kept it a good game. But I was hoping for like a 4-3 hockey game, and I don't know. I mean, both they looked good warming up. They all had cool little handshakes they were doing. They were nut tapping each other, and then you guys just pumped them. So was that? Did you know leading into the week? I can't think of the guy. What's the guy's name for? Vinny on NA3HL for the preview. Vinny had talked about this being, one of the 2 big series to watch for the weekend. Did you guys sense that last week leading up into the weekend?
Yeah, with them being 7-1 and everything, we thought it was going to be closer than it was, or the scoreboard showed, but it was.
You guys seemed more, not that you weren't prepared in the couple weeks before, but you guys seemed more ready to play Friday night than I think you had been
the
whole season. Is that something that had Coach talked to you guys a little bit about that leading up to it?
I don't think it was Coach talking to us about it. I think we all kind of knew that this was going to be a tougher team, and we had to get ready to go.
Okay, now let's go back. Same thing I've asked all the guys. Go back. You were from Houston, so suburb of Houston, or kind of where at? Talk to me a little bit about
South Side suburb of Houston.
Okay, so what is your earliest first hockey memory?
Probably being thrown on the ice for the first time, crying.
That seems to be the sentiment. All guys seem to say that you did not. So is it a hockey family? Like, is it mom and dad that take you out, or kind of how does that initial? I don't assume Houston's a hotbed for hockey, so
No.
It had to have been something that you guys were seeking out.
Yeah, my mom was from Minnesota, and all her brothers played hockey, so I was kind of just forced into it when I was 3, just thrown out there on the ice.
From the time that you remember when you got out there and weren't enjoying it, how much until the switch flipped and you were like, okay, I want to play hockey now?
I almost instantly. Yeah, almost, like probably the next time I went out there.
How does the youth program work down there? So you came up, mite squirts, the whole
Yeah,
shebang?
so it's learn to skate, the mighty mites, all that, and then mite squirts, all that stuff, all the way through 18s to here.
Do you have, is it high school hockey down there, or is it club hockey?
It's club hockey, so travel hockey. So we play a whole bunch of teams up in Dallas.
Okay, so is that kind of where the predominant of your road trips was to Dallas?
Yep.
So has it grown as hockey's kind of exploded? I know just around a little bit, we have some family in Dallas, and what we've seen kind of, is it the Brahmas program or something that's there that I think is NA3HL, and then I think there's an NHL maybe, or NAHL above that. Is it done the same thing in Houston where it's kind of grown and expanded?
I think it's grown. I don't think it's grown at the same level as Dallas, just because they have the NHL team there that helps them out, but it's growing.
Nice. What age did you kind of decide you wanted to pursue it on to the junior level? Like there's an age group when you realize you guys are all very humble, but there's an age when you realize you're good at hockey. Kind of when did you start to see that it was something you were excelling at, and okay, I want to try to take this and work my way up with it?
I didn't actually decide to go to the junior level till after my year of 18s, and I was gonna go to play ACHA at OU, and then COVID hit, so they weren't going to have a year, so I came out here to play juniors.
Okay, where's OU? What is that?
University of Oklahoma.
Oh, Sooners?
Yep.
Oh, man. I hope you don't read my Facebook stuff, dude. Here's my problem with Oklahoma real fast. So where I'm from in southeast Colorado, okay, I don't know how familiar you are with the state, but Lamar is down in the southeast corner, okay? You probably drive through it if you drive all the way up there, 287, right there. Lamar, Colorado. My wife's from there. I'm from the little town Eads that's north of Lamar. You go under the railroad right there. That's where I'm from, 21 miles west of there. Town about 20 people. Okay, when we would go Christmas shopping, we would drive from Lamar to Amarillo. That stretch of road in Oklahoma, I didn't understand why they were paying Bob Stoops like $7 million a year to finish 5th in the Big 12, and they couldn't pave that road for us, dude, because it was horrible. So now my problem with Oklahoma is where the Panhandle was, they always just forgot about it. And I think everything on the other side of the state is beautiful, but that little spot that we had, dude, it was atrocious. So I'm not an Oklahoma person. So through the youth program, was there anyone that kind of had the most influence on you, a coach or a volunteer, someone that really, anything that they taught you or kind of worked with you on hockey, when you look back on, who was kind of the most influential on you?
All my coaches were really influential, but probably when I was youngest, like when I was 9 or 8,
Okay.
Paul Dahl, he was really influential and pushed me and was a good coach.
What
Made
age,
me like it.
Okay, what age do you start kind of learning the game of hockey? Like, is it when you reach that bantam level or high school, where when you go from just kind of skating around to actually kind of learning the game?
It's probably around 12U for me.
Okay.
So just learning the game in general, I guess, and then hitting starts happening at that age. Well, it did before, so
Okay.
had to learn how to deal with that.
When does are you scoring then? Is that what kind of led to being on the forward side of things? Where just being a goal scorer, or kind of how does that? I'm always curious how guys end up in the spots that they're in, like personality-wise, or were you scoring, or kind of what happened there?
I actually used to play D when I was way younger, and then I kind of transitioned to forward, and now I've played D a couple times when I was like 16 or whatever, and it's just, I find it boring.
Okay.
So
you like to be up pushing the action,
Yeah.
scoring.
Yep.
Have you played on a team as good as this one, where you guys were the 14-0, the undefeated, and it's
No.
so this?
No.
How's the experience so far?
It's great. I love it.
The guys talk a lot too about these Tuesday practices, and I've never. Is it Team Tuesdays, or what is the
Team Battle Tuesdays.
So Team Battle Tuesday, and I've never
Yeah.
asked. They've talked about it. I've never asked a follow up. So, like, what is Team Battle Tuesday? Like, what happens?
2 guys, draft teams, just alternate and pick players from the team, and then those 2 teams scrimmage each other within our team. So it's just a scrimmage the whole practice.
Okay, so who decides who the 2 are, and does that change each week?
Yeah, it changes each week, and Hayes just kind of picks 2 guys.
Okay, so now, I mean, this is still back to, this actually is a flashback to some bad memories for you. Probably never got picked last for shit. I might have got picked last a few times. So is there some competition maybe, and some, okay, we're picking, like,
Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah.
so then there's some chips on shoulders, and then is that a pretty intense scrimmage?
Yeah, especially when the losing team has to skate at the end, it kind of...
Oh, so there's consequences.
There's a punishment for
actions?
losing, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'm going to assume that maybe has been the best hockey you guys have had to do so far this year, because it's, I mean, you guys are tough. You're fun to watch. So that's, even guys at work, I had about 12 buddies that were at the games this weekend, which we ran out of beer. We're going to talk about that. I don't know how, we can't let that happen again. They floated the keg like by the end of the first period Saturday night. So that is, I got to know, you can't run out of beer at the hockey game at the end of the first period. So that's just not good. Last thing, and I will let you go, and it's how I got both you guys here tonight, is the hair. Okay, so a younger version of me, I had the sweet big hair too. What's the product? What's the routine? Like, what do you do to keep that curly and keep that in good shape?
I use conditioner, and then I have this curly Cantu stuff that kind of helps keep it less frizzy. If I don't use that, it gets really, really frizzy and
I know.
afro.
Yeah. It thins out a little bit. Then it's more like Albert Einstein.
Yep.
When did you first realize? Like, what age did you embrace the letting it get big?
It's always been big.
God, so
it's gotten smaller over the years.
Oh, so you've had her way big before?
Yep.
Knocked her down?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I thought both of you guys look awesome. So I was like, no, we got to have these 2 guys. So have them on. So you both Texans, both got the curly hair. So double last thing. First time of the season, you're on like a legitimate long road. So you have a weekend off this coming weekend.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I'm actually going back to Austin, Texas for my cousin's wedding this weekend. So.
Austin's a good time. That's actually, I'm actually a little more jealous than that. Than I know some of the guys are going to an Avs game.
Yep.
So Austin this weekend will be a good time. I don't know if Texas, it doesn't matter if Texas is home, that they'll get beat, I'm sure, if they're going too. But, and then you turn around and you guys go to Bozeman. Is there a road trip item? Is there something you have to have when you go on these road trips, something you have to take with you?
Pillow and a blanket. I just sleep most of the time anyways.
Okay, so you get your rest when you go up and
Yep.
everything good?
Yep.
Cool. Man, have fun at the wedding. I'm a
Yep.
little jealous. Austin will be a lot of fun, more fun than Gillette this weekend. So thanks for coming and chatting with us.
Yep, thanks
Cool,
for having me.
man.
We're good to go.
Okay. Now welcome on Tyler Lasiter.
Yep.
Thanks for taking some time to join us. You're big. It's gotta sit up a little bit here. So, okay. Same thing I talked to Will about going into the week. Could you guys sense that it was going to be a big weekend, like an important series?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's Bozeman. They had a pretty good record this year, so we knew we had to actually get out there and actually have a try and have a good game to play with them.
You are one of the ones way back in the day, first episode that Ethan mentioned on the big guys from the standpoint of the hitting and stuff. With not letting, you can't have 15-year-olds playing junior hockey, and you were one of the examples he gave, is that you would kill a 15-year-old. So you're 6'3", listed at 6'3", 200, okay?
Yeah.
You're about 6'7" on skates. And then you've got the hair, so you stick out. When did the growth spurt happen? Like when did you become kind of one of the bigger guys on the ice?
Probably sophomore to junior year in high school.
Okay, so that's about the same age as most young men, most boys go in that age group.
Yeah.
When did you start hockey? Like when did you get into it? And the same thing I asked all the guys. What's your first memory of playing hockey?
I remember just probably learning to skate the first time skating, and it was, I don't know, just probably skating around onto the boards because I couldn't skate.
How long did it take you? Like from the time you get in there and get going. How old are you at this point?
I'm 20 now.
No, how old are you when you're learning to skate?
Oh.
Like how old are you when you're learning?
Maybe 5 or so.
Okay, was hockey in the family? Like
No.
so how do you end? Okay, so why do you end up on hockey?
So-
We were talking. You're from Plano.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the kind of the hockey setup is there, but was it just the Stars, or was there junior hockey, or kind of what got you into it?
Then they had Texas Tornadoes and all before just the Brahmas. So the Texas Tornadoes, my elementary school crosswalk guard was the announcer for them.
Okay.
And we had talk and stuff, and he ended up giving us tickets and stuff to go to the games. So we went to the games and stuff, and I thought I was interested and started playing.
And that got you into doing it. So, dude, that's a cool story, man. So, what is the youth program like down there? Like, is
they're good, but you have to. It's a little harder for coming out of like Texas because the high school hockey is like it's not very good. First of all. And then even with the travel hockey, most of the travel teams are like AA for the top teams. And that's still not, I mean, it's okay hockey, but it's not like just Minnesota high school teams would beat the crap out of travel teams down
Gotcha.
south.
Which is, I mean, you're going to have that everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
that's your predominant, you can take your best, we were just talking high school football here. You could take the best high school football players in the state of Wyoming, build a team, and then go to where Texas and your middle of the run Texas high school football team would beat the piss out of them. So it's hockey's king there, football's king down there, but you've still come through on the hockey side of things.
And I mean, if you're real serious about hockey, like in Texas, you would move up to Dallas, and then there is elite teams there. There's Dallas Stars Elite, and you would play for them. But the problem with that is it's like 15, 20 grand a year.
Yeah, which is
and
wild.
And then it's so much politics to get into that too. You
Yeah,
gotta
because
know the right
in
people.
the long run, I mean, the junior hockey route, the whole program is to find a way to get yourself placed at a college
Yep.
and help get your education paid for. If you're spending $20,000, oldest daughter just got done with school. If you're paying $20,000 a year to go through, didn't take very long to have a nice bachelor's degree paid
Right.
for a pretty nice college somewhere. So, did you always go on the defensive side of stuff, or kind of how did you end up kind of in the position where you are?
So when I was a kid till about 14s, I played defense. And then my last 2 years in high school, junior and senior year, I played forward. And then when I got to junior, I went back to D.
Okay. Which do you like better?
I like them both a lot. Probably, I don't know, probably D a little better.
Okay. One of the things on the questionnaire that you had, you talked about hockey sense and what qualities and characteristics help make someone a good hockey player. You talk about smart hockey sense.
Mm-hmm.
So Saturday, how far into that game Saturday did you sense that it's going to be rough? I mean, do you know right away?
Yeah, I knew right away.
How can you feel that?
Well, you could tell just from the first night.
That stuff was going to get rowdy?
Yeah.
So it's cliche, but I mean, when you're the biggest guy, you're expected to, I guess, be the protector. So do you embrace that? Do you believe that? Like, is that, I mean,
yeah.
When you see someone hit one of your guys that's dirty, like, okay, now we're not going to let anyone do that.
Yeah.
So that's something you embrace.
Yeah.
What about it do you enjoy?
I mean, just, I don't know, just they're going to quit doing that.
They're not going to hit your guy.
Yeah.
That's not something we're going to allow. That's all, I mean, kind of in the aspects, I'll even go back to, that's my biggest gripe when you go all the way for like what I think it hurts the Avs right now, is you'll see someone will take a run at McKinnon, and I like Landeskog. Landeskog's not going to beat shit out of anybody. So, I mean, I think where USA Hockey has worked to try to get the roughness out of the sport or whatever, there still has to be consequences for someone that tries to run one of your guys. Like, you can't have them doing that. So you embrace that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fighting has to be in hockey.
Fight, see, and that's what, it proved it Saturday night, and that's, we were talking before with you and Will. I'm not shitting you, probably 15 guys I work with at the games this weekend. Only about half of them Friday, and then everybody on Saturday. And that's, the guy said, if they fight on Friday, the place is full on Saturday. And that it happened again this weekend. So that's, I don't know, I didn't grow up around the hockey in that atmosphere, but it seems like you guys embrace it, that's just part of what has to happen with it.
Well, yeah, it's because, first of all, hockey is like, it's super dangerous sport. And at this level now, we could all easily go kill someone. We can all go hit someone right in the back and about break their neck. Which, the thing is, with fighting in hockey, it keeps people from doing that, because if they do that, guys are going to come up and go beat you up.
So if you do something dirty, you're going to get punched in the mouth.
Exactly.
Like that's the part of the aspect of the game polices the
So
game.
if fighting wasn't in it, it'd be full of just hits from the back and stuff, all that, with no consequence.
And I agree, like 10,000% with that. So that's what was good to see when, like I said, when I was talking to Will, I think there was maybe one on Saturday, and I don't even remember who it was. It was where the camera sits. It was kind of down in front, where I think we might have hit a guy. But at the same time, when you're watching them just elbows up and pump on your guys for a night and a half, you have a tendency to, kind of maybe go ahead and calculate a little bit too, because that's just what it is, and that's what's going to happen. So you have a very specific answer when you were talking about advancing to the next level.
I didn't.
Did you not say
I
that?
I didn't even say that.
Okay, gotcha. So then we won't talk about that. What do you want to do with hockey? Like, where do you hope that it takes you?
Just college.
Okay.
Much.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so you just want to go to college, have a good time,
Yeah.
play some hockey, and try to try to just have fun. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You guys have a weekend off. Okay, I'm sure you're not flying to Austin for a wedding.
No.
So what are you going to do with the weekend off?
We're going down to Denver to watch an Avalanche
Okay,
game.
so you're part of the group. Have you been to an Avs game before?
No, I have
Never
not.
been to Lodo or anything like that? No, you'll have a good time. So the Avs games, they're a lot of fun.
Okay.
What's your favorite? Do you have an NHL team you follow? Like, who do you like?
The Stars.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I followed the Avs through their rough years, so there's ebbs and flows, man. I know you're in the down, but it'll come back, I promise.
Yeah.
So, do you help out with the Blades and Avalanche stuff?
Out here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that? I'm going to assume
I definitely
being the
don't.
big. You don't like working with the kids?
No.
Why not?
Because it's.
Well, it goes back. There's personalities that like it and personalities that don't like it. I assume the kids probably climb all over you and are very attracted to the big guy with the big hair. And so, no, some people just don't. Kids aren't their thing, man. So, no, hey, at least you're honest. You can, no, I don't want anything to do with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Last thing, I'll let you go. Road trips. Is there anything that you have to have? Like, are you packing anything? If you forgot it, you'd be devastated when you guys, because Bozeman's a long ass way.
Yeah, pillow and blanket. If I didn't have that, it'd be.
Gotcha. So there's nothing special, no cards, no nothing. You just have to have a pillow and blanket. So you're sleeping more on the road trips than.
Try to sleep, but you can't always sleep.
Gotcha. Oh, you were. Last one, he'd want to fight. On the team. Last guy you would want to fight. If you had to pick one guy you did not want to fight, who would it be? You fight them all?
I mean, yeah, I'd fight anyone on the team, but
Last one.
The
Who would you
least
not want to
likely
fight?
I'd want to fight would be, probably Coach.
He is wound tight. We were
I'd
talking
say
about that
Coach.
earlier too. Yeah,
He's a lot
Top guy
stronger
was.
than.
Oh yeah, but he's
than any
a
other kid,
firecracker,
too.
dude. Man, like he's wound awful tight too. So I bet you'd have to kill him to beat him. It would go down too. So man, I appreciate you guys taking some time. I know you're busy. You're winning. You're having fun. So enjoy your weekend off, and then good luck on the trip up there to Bozeman.
Yep. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you to Tyler and Will for coming out and taking some time. What I got to do, I got to get better. I don't know. We might change up where we do the interviews. We're having better conversations before and after than we are during, and I don't know if it's just I don't think it's nervousness. I don't know what, but there's something maybe about sitting behind that desk down there and the formality of it that makes it seem too formal. So we might go back to doing some stuff at Spirit Hall. I might try to figure it out here in the next couple of weeks with some of the guys. But like you saw there, I mean, Will's headed to a wedding in Austin, which, I mean, that's going to be fun. Like, that'll be fun as I'll get out. And then Lasiter and the boys, they're headed to Denver to catch an Avs game. So they're two great weekends. They've earned this bye weekend. They get the chance to get out of town. So good for them. Like I said, we're going to still be in town this weekend. More hockey. Friday night, Saturday night, 7:05, Spirit Hall Ice Arena. The University of Wyoming hockey team versus the Montana State hockey team. I've never experienced like college club hockey like that before. I don't know what to expect. So, I mean, I know we're going to strap some blades on and play some hockey, so it should be a good time. Before we get out of here, got two things left to do. Let's take a look at our stats so far here. Taping this on Tuesday night. It was announced. No, I don't want to do that. No, stop. Okay, here we go. It was announced here late this afternoon. The Bauer NA3HL Frontier Division Star of the Week. The man who Will Blake said he would least like to fight. Carson Cooch. He lit up the score sheet for Gillette this last weekend, noting back-to-back back-to-back multi-goal games. A native of Flagstaff, Arizona. Cooch posted a pair of goals and another pair of assists on Friday, then bagged 2 more goals on Saturday for a 4-goal, 2-assist, 6-point weekend. He also bagged him an ice dog or maybe 2 there Saturday night. Cooch has found the back of the net in 3 consecutive contests and boasts 8 goals, 6 assists, and 14 points in 8 games this year. Also on the honorable mention list, Jack Orchard, previous guest on the Drop the Gloves podcast. Jack Orchard earned honorable mention for the Bauer Frontier Division Stars of the Week. We are not going to go and take a big look at statistics. If you want, here's what you got to do. Go to the na3hl.com website. The other source we have for our statistics with the Gillette Wild is Elite Prospects. You go to the NA3HL, you go to Elite Prospects, you search out the Gillette Wild, you are going to get more statistics and more numbers than you can imagine. If that's your kind of thing, if numbers are your thing. As we mentioned earlier, the boys are off this weekend, Halloween weekend. Going to get in maybe some trick-or-treating when they get back on Sunday. With them not having a game, we don't have much to really talk about next week. We're going to take a week off. You will not see an episode drop next week. We're going to take the week off, regroup. When the boys are back, first weekend in November, they'll load up in the bus. They head to Bozeman. First real big, long road trip of the season. We'll see how it goes. If memory serves me right, I do believe Bozeman has a really good, clean, clear setup for hockey TV. If you want to keep track, get yourself a subscription to the hockeytv.com. Set Gillette Wild there as your favorite and settle in. I will be settled in Friday night watching from Pinedale, and Saturday night catching the game from Jackson as we're on the road there with the girls. One last treat before we get out of here. We're going to end with something a little special tonight. Catalina enjoyed the first bit we did with her. You folks seem to enjoy the first bit that Catalina did. So, what we're going to leave you guys with tonight is the second installment, the Halloween episode, if you will, of who, what, when, where, and why, or why, with Catalina Bear. Enjoy. Catch you guys next time.
What is your favorite Halloween costume and why?
Carson Cooch, and I'd have to say the big inflatable sumo wrestling guys.
Nathan Fanning, and probably the Joker.
Jacob Guitard, favorite Halloween costume growing up, lifeguard.
Ian Richards, Captain America.
Hi, my name is Declan Young, and my favorite Halloween costume was a Sioux fan.
Sage Norwegian, my favorite Halloween costume is being a golfer.
Hi, my name is Jack Orchard, and my favorite Halloween costume growing up would be a lumberjack.
My name's Isaac Young, and my favorite Halloween costume is Spider-Man.
Sky Solig, and my favorite Halloween costume was a lacrosse player.
Easton Apodaca, my favorite Halloween costume is Ghostface.
Dale Rodriguez, Scream.
Robert Allport, and my favorite Halloween costume is Jigsaw.
I'm Caleb Sanborn, and my favorite Halloween costume is the Headless Horseman.
My name is Alex Dushman. My favorite Halloween costume is Captain America.
I'm Caleb Vodney and the Joker.
Jake Turek and Jason because of the goalie mask.